Hello,
Hey Wiz.
how you doing?
I'm good. How are you? I'm just trying to figure this out. This is my first live. Hi everyone.
Your first live?
This is my first live with you on your show.
Listen, welcome to the world of live.
Thank you. Thank you.
I've got a very, how could I say? The followers that I have, I appreciate them because they allow me to give you an opportunity. See how people are saying hello? These people actually, they're selectors, they're artists, they're sounds, they're from all over the world. And what I
Wonderful.
respect about the listeners and the followers that I have, they give an opportunity for everybody to join in. So you have a total different platform than everybody's used to.
Yeah,
Um, but it's an important platform
for
because
sure.
especially we as selectors, we have so much pressure on us from going out to play out every night,
Yeah.
trying to, please crowds, then having to, men having to go home to deal with the wives and the girlfriends and and then, vice versa. And it's just a lot of pressure. But some things that we don't know, we never know what a person's going through. We don't
That's true.
know that. So I agreed to this live because I think that we don't take that in accord. Like we don't take what somebody else is going through. I know I've had issues that I've kept under the quiet.
Yeah.
Um, right? And you're probably going to be the first to know this along with them that I've been seeing a therapist for the last 3 years.
Oh wow.
Um,
Good. Yeah.
to just deal with a lot of things. A lot of people don't know that.
Okay.
But I've always said it's never about me. It's always about me having a platform to give to the world. And now you're here. I'm going to ask you just a few questions because I think that your answers will cover a wide range. And thing you can hear
Yeah.
me clearly, though.
I can hear you. I can hear you. I'm just trying to set up my
Okay.
phone. But before you get into the questions, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for having me. And more importantly, thank you for sharing that. Like you said, it's been the last 3 years you have been going to for therapy, for someone to
Yeah.
talk to. And I
Yeah.
think that is so important, especially as a male, especially as a black male, to share that information with your listeners, with me, with everyone out there in the world, because we are not given enough space to talk about our feelings and to what's going on. So I think in terms of mental health awareness, mental health advocacy, it's so important for you to come out and tell people this, because what you're doing is not only giving yourself voice, you're also giving other people who are struggling permission to come out and to say, you know what? Yeah, me too. Me too, I'm
Yeah, yeah,
struggling.
yeah. It's I never felt that there was anything wrong until you start talking. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So, you know, let's see where we first and foremost, what I think it should be is you should mention your name and who you
Yeah.
are.
For sure. Hi. So I'm Natasha Pennycooke. I am a registered psychotherapist. I provide psychotherapy. What psychotherapy is talk therapy. So people who come in who talk about what's been going on, either in their head, their feelings, also in their body, because mental health and physical health are very much interconnected. So what I do is I provide therapy to help men and women who are struggling with anxiety, depression, trauma, and a lot of times we go through feeling a lot of self doubt because of these things that we have been going through. So I help them to heal, to thrive, and to find the best life that they deserve. All right.
Okay,
And
so
you had mentioned that I do. I also volunteer with you and our rest of our volunteer colleagues in Keep Six. And
okay.
Keep Six is, we're trying to make a meaningful difference in the lives of youth and also in the lives of those who've been impacted by the criminal justice system.
First, you know what? First, I think you should explain what is mental health.
Okay.
What is it?
Okay. So mental health, just like physical health, where, God forbid you walk down the stairs, you break your leg. What are you going to do? You're going to go seek help, right? You're
Yeah.
going to go to the hospital, get a doctor, look at your leg. You might need an x-ray. You might need a cast, right? Something's wrong with your leg. In the same vein that our physical health, our mental health is that something happened. There's been experiences that have happened to you, and you're having a hard time dealing with those experiences, with the repercussions of those experiences. So what that means is that you may be struggling with depression, you know, feeling sad, feeling like you want to withdraw from people around you. You may be struggling with worry, with fear, with doubt. You may be having nightmares, bad dreams. You might have difficulty going out because you're really worried about how you're going to look, how you're going to appear. So all these are different things that fall under mental health. Different things that fall under the mental health statement, mental health categories, that they are things that happen to us that interfere with our ability to function, our ability to function on a day-to-day basis. So anything that happens to us that impacts our ability to function on a day-to-day basis is what would fall under the mental
So
health
are you saying
domain.
that is it as easy as um is it as easy as I get up and I worry about what I'm going to wear for the day? It,
So no,
can
yeah, go
that
ahead.
be mental health issue?
It could be. It depends on how much it impacts you. So say, for example, I get up and I'm like, oh, I don't know. Am I going to wear this polka dot shirt? Am I going to wear my keepsake shirt? What am I going to wear today? If that is something that's so much on my mind that it impacts me from getting up and doing my day to day, then yes, that is a mental health issue. But if I'm able to say, you know what, okay, today I'm going to wear the polka dot shirt, maybe another day I'll wear another shirt and go on about my business, then no, those are everyday worries and everyday anxieties. What
Okay.
we need to understand is that worry, anxiety, these are things that have been quote unquote biological. You need some worry, some anxiety to get yourself going, right? The thing is, it becomes a problem when it really impacts your day to day functioning,
Okay.
right? So, like the example you gave, I'm not able to choose what I'm going to wear. I'm not going to leave the house. Therefore, I stay in the house all day and worry about what I'm going to wear.
Okay. Okay. So,
Yeah.
is there an age group of mental health? Does it affect? Is there like when you reach 25, this could hit you? Is there something like that, or is it just whatever
No,
age?
there's no age group. Mental health can impact anyone at any age. So
At
it can
any age?
impact at any age. We can see young children as much as 4, 5, 6 who are struggling with maybe some worry, some anxiety, who are struggling with depression, symptoms of depression, feeling really down, sad. And it could also impact someone who's 99. Right? So it
Right.
doesn't discriminate on age.
What are the signs that you
Hmm.
definitely know you're walking down the street and you know that this person is, I won't say crazy, they have a mental health issue? What are the signs? What do we
You
look for?
cannot. You cannot walk it typically. You cannot walk down the street and point out that person, that person, that person, that person. We don't know. It's not like mental health is something that you wear on your forehead, like I have a mental health issue. I have a mental health disorder. I'm struggling with mental health, right? In Canada, they say 1 in 5 people that you will meet are struggling with a mental health issue. But a lot of times you don't know. So it could be, you know, me, you in a room with 3 other people, one of us are struggling, but it's not to say we have it written on our forehead.
So the other day there was a young gentleman killed in Brampton.
Mm,
Did you hear about
yeah,
that?
I heard about that. Yeah,
Right.
heard about it
Police,
yesterday. Yeah,
another
yeah.
police killing. They
Hmm.
said he was suffering from mental health, which is something that they know and they knew
Hmm.
from because they've been called to that place before.
Right.
What? Why is it that we have doctors like yourself to deal with this stuff, but our police officers and the people in are the who are security or the jail guards or whatever, they're not being thing.
Yeah. So unfortunately, not everyone is trained to understand mental health issues. Not everyone who ought to be trained understands what a mental health, a panic attack, a mental health attack may look like. And a lot of times, people might feel because there's no understanding, they may feel threatened, they may feel out of control, and that you know, I mean, I don't know the details of what happened. And it is completely unfortunate that this happened. But I mean, a lot of times people don't know, right? There needs to be more training, especially in terms of mental health. And yes, there's tons of programs out there and different training that's done, but is it the proper training? Is it just that, you know, some things are done and we get the tick, but is it proper training? Is it the training to say, you know what? When there is someone who is in a mental health crisis, we need to stop. We need to ask, you know, what has been going on here? A lot of times people who are in a mental health crisis are already in a lot of fear. They don't know what's going on. A lot of people may, you know, not be sure what's going on. And any of us, if we are in a situation where we feel out of control, the fear comes along with that. Right?
Do you
So,
think,
yeah.
go ahead. I apologize. Do you think that a lot of people who are in custody, especially our young black males, do you feel that they're facing more mental health issues than the rebellion that has been put out by the media? That's what they need?
So you mean like right now during COVID-19 or like in general?
General, I would say.
In general, yeah, okay. I think that anyone who is in a situation who is incarcerated, right, they are going to be struggling on a whole different level than what we would think as the quote unquote normal population who's not incarcerated, because there are other factors that they have to go through, such as being incarcerated, away from loved ones, family, friends, freedoms taken away, living situation not what they have probably been accustomed to. So yes, mental health issues are definitely going to be something that they would be struggling with. Right? Someone had said more men have mental health issues than we realize. A lot of men do. And because a lot of men are not given a platform, and if we're talking about incarceration, a lot of men not be given the platform, to discuss what's been going on. And then you add on to that, right? Being incarcerated, away from family, away from friends, and also being treated the way a lot of people who are incarcerated are treated. Yes.
So
I
got something for you then. Why is it that the men that have gone into custody, and even if they're getting released, why are they sent to parole officers and not to maybe a mental health expert? Why are they sent to, you know, halfway houses, but not given, you know, a care worker as a mental health worker? I got another question to ask you to fight that, but I need to know why is it a financial situation? Is it the government doesn't recognize this? Because mental health is, I seen all prime ministers and politicians, oh, mental health. So why is it police are still killing? Black, white, whatever they have, mental health issues, it's still being killed. So why is it that you all are not being allotted, you know, the care to men that come out of incarceration? Is she frozen? Yeah, you're frozen.
Well, you know what?
There you go.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, we're back. So I can't speak to the why, right? I'm not a government employee. I don't work for Correction Service Canada. I can't speak to the why. And I can speak to definitely that is something that needs to be, right? If the men who are coming out, women who are coming out, they're being sent to parole officers, halfway houses, that needs to be part and parcel of what is going on in terms of getting these individuals reacquainted, repatriated back into society. That to say, you know what? Time has passed. You know what? You have been incarcerated. That's traumatic. People like me who work with mental health and work in the mental health field need to be part and parcel of the team to get people back into society, right? It's not just like, okay, you served your time, now go. It's okay, you served your time, and what's been going on for you? What has it been like to be away from your family for these years, away from your spouse, your children, missing the everyday of your children's life? That in itself is traumatic. So it's getting to a place of something that needs to be part of solution and not part of the stigma.
Are you not do you not make your your criteria, what you do, are you not available to go to the system and say, this is my job, this is what I do, I go in, can you analyze, like, let's say you had a meeting and I came to your office and I sat down, can you analyze if I have a mental health issue? Would you be able to tell me?
I would be able to sit with you and to discuss things, you know, what we would call it as an assessment, do an assessment and try to figure out what has been going on. Myself, as a registered psychotherapist in Ontario, I do not have jurisdiction to diagnose. All right. So I don't have jurisdiction to diagnose. So I would have to refer that to a colleague who would be a psych associate or a psychologist who would be able to diagnose with whatever mental health issue may be present. What I can do is say, you know what, you have symptoms of trauma, PTSD, anxiety, depression, and these are ways in which we could work together through talk therapy to help you to heal those, to understand those, to process those, to unpack those, so you can understand better what has been going on and how these have been hindering your daily functioning and your life.
Because my anger is from the fact that, you know this, and I'm sure are hundreds of others who contribute, who can contribute to help mental health know this. Why are you not fighting, or why is the fight not being taken where, let's say you and a colleague who is, what's the word I'm looking for, who's able to diagnose a patient, why you cannot go into the system and, you know, everybody has visits, or you take a good 5-10 minutes, you take 6 hours during the day, they sit you in a room, and range by range, person by person, comes and talks to you. I'm sure you have a questionnaire that you will be able to ask, and by checking off those questions, you'll be able to tell this person, we might have to look into this person and help this person. So that way you could actually give a recorded note to say, when this person is released, you suggest that they have a mental health
follow-up services. So
why is this not being done? Because men who are being released right back into the culture, right back. And I know it's not that simple. What I'm saying, I know you just can't walk in, but what I'm saying is, why hasn't this been a blown up, full forced issue? And this is what rehabilitation is.
Yeah. Well, that's how rehabilitation should be. Right? And this is where your anger is coming from. This is how it should be, to be able to have these men, these women, to be on the best track when they do get out. So it's a great question. I can't answer that. That is not, you know, that's not something I would love to go in and say, you know what, I'm going in here, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But these are questions that need to be taken higher up. Right? These are things that need to be implemented, because they're very important. They're very important. Doing that would get someone to know, okay, you know what? I saw Natasha or another colleague, and I know when I get out, I have the support that's there. That's what it's about. It's about saying, I have the support that's there. I know there is going to be someone when I get out that I can sit with, that I can talk to, that I don't have to feel shame, and be able to say, you know what, this is what happened to me. This is what happened to me when I went in. This is why I went in, because I couldn't control my temper, because I couldn't see that there was other ways to deal with this issue. And then I went in, I did my time, and being in and of itself was a whole new world. It was very traumatic. I was away from my loved ones, and this is the stuff that I dealt with when I was there. And now coming back, now I have to deal with the reason why I went in, what it was like, and now what it's like to be out, right? So yes, this is something that should be implemented more.
If I get you to talk to the mayor, like of anywhere, maybe Toronto, maybe Brampton, do you have a platform that could be elevated maybe through Keep Six, that could be elevated, where we need to help the younger generation. We have a platform. But before I do that, let me ask you something. And I'm just going to ask you straight, because we don't lie on this show. We don't lie on this show.
All right.
Are you affordable for somebody who comes out of penitentiary, somebody comes out of incarceration anywhere, to be able to connect with you under the understanding that they don't have the riches, they don't have the means of supporting what they need for you to support? Are you, or are your colleagues affordable for that?
So colleagues in private practice would probably not be affordable. You know, straight up, would not be affordable. And this is why there's organizations like Keep Six, right? This is why there's organizations like community health centers. Community health centers, you know, like there's like Taibu, for example, right? There are mental health practitioners, psychotherapists, social workers who do clinical therapy on their team to be able to provide mental health services, right?
Okay.
Like Keep Six, I'm on Keep Six to help out, and doing that through Keep Six, you know, I've had a number of people who've gotten out who've called and I said, you know what, let me sit with you, let me talk to you and see what's going on and where can I direct you. It may not be that these individuals specifically want therapy. They may need to know what resources are out there, right? Because a lot of times it's not so much I get out, I need therapy. It's I get out, I need a job. I need a place to live. I need people who understand me. I need people who are going to give me a chance. So you need to also understand there are these, what we call social determinants of health, these barriers to health that a lot of people are struggling with. So we want to make sure that those things are put in place. And this is why I do love Keep Six, because Keep Six is really thinking about all of the different areas that could impact and be a barrier for a person.
Take me through. I'm sure the stigma is young Black males that are probably some of your most clients, or if they're your only clients, correct?
I work with men and women. From a private practice standpoint, I work with men and women. Primarily, I have Black women on my roster. However, for Keep Six, I see men and women.
How is the mental health different is it like a major difference? I know it's different, but is it a major difference between a man and a woman?
So it's not so much that the mental health itself is the difference. It is what society deems as okay for a man and okay for a woman, right? Like you said.
The floor is yours. Tell me the difference.
The floor is mine, right? Yeah. So the difference is men, and you can tell me if I'm right or not. You're a man, right? Men are told a lot of times, oh, you're struggling. It's okay. Just man up. You have to be stronger. You're supposed to be a man, right? So what happens is a lot of time men internalize that and say, you know what? I'm really sad. I'm really down. I'm really worried. I'm really anxious. But I have been told I have to squash that. I have to suck it up. I have to man up. Okay. And then what happens is that these men, they push it in. And instead of showing sadness, which a lot of times is equated to weakness, they show anger because it's more manly. And then what happens, a lot of the sadness that's inside gets shown as anger, as frustration, as aggression. That is what happens, and that is the difference. It's not so much that the mental health itself is different. It's so much what we have been told by society that's okay to show. So then what happens is that the men would be like, you know what, I can't show that I'm sad. I can't show that I am worried. So I'm going to show that I am strong. I'm going to show that I'm frustrated. I'm going to show that I'm angry, because these are more manly feelings to show.
Okay.
So instead of me saying, you know what, I'm really worried, I'm going to start fighting with somebody. Okay. Instead of saying, you know what, I'm scared of what's going on, I'm going to start screaming and shouting. So we need to get to a place to say, you know what, it is okay for men and women, especially Black men and Black women, to say, I am sad, I am worried, I am scared. And that does not make us weak. It makes us stronger to actually say, this is actually and exactly what I am honestly going through, as opposed to trying to mask it and hide it.
Okay.
You know, I was with Keep Six, I was running a youth program on emotional processing. And I had, in that program, we had, I want to say we had maybe 8 youth. So youth saying like, you know, late teens in the 17, 18, 19 range. And going in, just teaching these teens about feelings, gave them the platform to say, you know what, it's true. And I feel it here in my body, and I feel it there in my body. And you know what? This is a safe space for you to come in. You don't have to wear that mask. You don't have to pretend. This is a safe space for you to come in and say, hey, Natasha, you know what? This is how I'm struggling. And I actually feel okay to be able to say that here. It's so important that we're able to teach the younger generation coming up, that we're able to teach ourselves at this time in this age to say, you know what? It's okay. And a lot of us have not had that growing up. Now we have to look tough, we have to look strong, we have to, all of that. Capable, whatever words you want to pitch with.
Where do we
are, I guess, vulnerable is in actuality not a weakness, even though depending on the situation that you're in, it could be, but it's understanding, what am I going through?
Right. Okay. Where do we, what's the biggest change that we can make to help the new generation, the younger generation, ourselves? What can we change? What do we need to change?
Oh, so I've thought about this, and I have many different thoughts of what can change. I think the number one key thing is we need to create space. We need to make space, and we need to allow permission to talk about what's been going on, the feelings, the emotions, all of that. We need to create space, safe space. Well, and there's a difference between space and safe space.
But Natasha, that comes with trust.
Yes, like, 100%.
I'm not going to just talk to anybody.
Nope.
So my hope would be that there needs to be more of you to be able to get that are reachable. There needs to be more of you to get. So what I'm asking you, do we need more 1-800 numbers? Do we need more Keep Sixes? Do we need more Natashas? What do we need? Where do we fight for this that we need?
Yeah. People need to know that there are culturally appropriate therapists out there. There are. It may be hard to find, and people might say, you know what, I want to be able to trust. Trust is an issue, but I want to be able to go to someone that I trust, that I don't have to explain my lived experience in order for that person to help me. Right? That's also a part of it. That's also a part of it. So, there needs to be, people need to get to a place of, okay, yes, the trust factor is huge, but how do people trust? People trust those who make space for them. If people don't make space for other people to be open, to be honest, to talk about stuff, trust is not going to be there. So again, to answer your question, I think the thing that needs to be done is people need to make space. And the way to make space is to say, honestly, you know what? Mental health is not a weakness. Mental health is not a sham. Mental health is not a stigma. Mental health are real things that people are actually going through. And what this does, it opens the door for someone to say, you know what? Yeah, you said that, and I feel comfortable enough to come to you and say, yeah, I've been struggling, and I need your help.
How do people get to you? What is it that we want to get to you? Because if you're bombarded, and you're going to tell me, I'm going to call you on Tuesday, and you're going to tell me you can't set an appointment till next week, Monday, because you're booked up. I have a problem with that.
Right.
But how do people get to you first? That's what I need to know. And then what bounces off after that? Because in that time, I'm going to tell you, I think a lot of people use and it's unfortunate, use mental health as an excuse when they commit crimes, going through certain things. And I see a lot of people get off some murder cases. Like you'll see officers get off because they say the level of stress was so this and so that. But yet still, they just took the life of a little boy. Yeah. Well, he's 26, but he's young.
Yeah, still a little boy.
And he was serving mental health. He was going through mental health, and they knew this. Yeah. But yet still didn't change. So, you know, I think if he had somebody to reach out to, maybe he didn't have nothing. I know somebody said it starts at home. But if the mother or the father is going through mental health and they don't know,
exactly,
it's a trickling effect.
It is.
So
it is.
First, I threw a lot at you, but first,
about 3 different questions.
Yeah, how do people? Go ahead. You answer them how you want to answer them, because I'm just so
all right. All right. So, how do people get a hold of me? So I'm a registered psychotherapist. I do work in private practice. I do volunteer with Keep Sick. So if you want to get a hold of me, you can DM me on my social media platforms, right? I'm here on Instagram, NATACHAPennycooke.therapy. I also have a business page on Facebook, which is Natasha Pennycooke Therapy as well. So you can DM me. You can send me a message. You want to reach out to me. I have, at the moment, I do have space to take clients on. And you know what? If we decide we're going to talk, like I'll give you a free 10-minute talk. Let's talk. Let's see what's going on. If I find, you know what? I know that you are struggling. However, maybe my expertise are not in the realm to help you. I will refer to those that I know that you may be a better fit with.
Okay.
Right, yeah. Cool. And I practice out of Allied Psychological Services, and we have offices in Brampton as well as in the Yonge and Eglinton area. And right now, because of COVID-19, I'm doing all my sessions via like this, right? On video, phone. Video. Yeah. So telehealth is like video sessions as well as phone sessions.
All right.
So there are some people who don't have access to strong internet, so we'll do phone sessions.
Yeah, I should have. I made a mistake, and I'm sorry. I should have pinned your handle. So it's something I'm learning as well, and I apologize to the listeners who requested your handle. So I'll definitely apologize. I should have. But if you check on my Instagram page at Wizology Show, you'll see her picture there and her. You could DM her right there. I'm going to ask you one more question, and then, you know, because we've had a great, you've given me some really good information.
That's good.
Can this thing be cured?
So, great question. Mental health can be cured. And what that means is, so I'll use anxiety as an example. If someone who's struggling with anxiety, it may not be that you never have anxiety again in your life. What it means is that we can go through ways to heal from it, to cope from it, so you could have a better day to day, right? When, I'll use myself as an example. I'm fine with this. I got into a car accident in the summer. I was hit by a bus. So, for me, now, whenever I get in the car, I see, and this happened the other day, I was going grocery shopping, there was a bus behind me, and I was like, oh man, there's a bus behind me, there's a bus behind me, there's a bus behind me. That time that I got hit by a bus, it changed my perception on how I now look at buses. So I see this bus, and I have some fear there, and I have some anxiety there around the bus. So what that means is that how I was before the accident, I can't go back there because something happened to me to change that. So now I see buses and I get a little bit like, a little bit nervous. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a bus. So I have to learn that in that moment when my heart's starting to race, I'm starting to sweat, I have to use the different tips and tools that I would go through with any of my clients that, you know what, that one bus hit me. It doesn't mean that every single bus is going to hit me. I am safe. What can I do to make myself feel safer? I could concentrate on where I'm going, concentrate on the road, refocus on what I'm doing. So it's not to say that you could 100% heal from, i.e., like go back to the time before. It's understanding that what happened to you has changed you, but how can you learn to live with the change that has happened? How do you learn to function in your everyday with what you have right now? Right? So I could have been terrified of the bus, turned around, done a whole different route to get to the grocery store. But I said, you know what? The bus is behind me. I'm okay. I'm safe. That one bus hit me, but I passed 1,000 buses in my lifetime. That one bus that hit me, it's not going to say that another bus is going to hit me. And it's learning different ways to cope with the anxiety so that I could heal and still be able to drive and do what I need to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there, I think I asked you this, but I wasn't focused on that particular thing, but I want to know. I know that mental health hits every age, but is there an age group or a thing that, you know what, this age group really has some serious problems? Like, if I've been like 20, the last 10 years, I've struggled this and that, and I'm 20 years old now. Should I be looking to, like, 20 to 25, these people really struggle with mental health issues? Is it 35 to 40? Is it 40 to 45? Is there a specific age that people should look out for and say, you know what, this is an age group that mental health hits? Is there a specific?
I think there is a specific age group. If you are thinking also like nowadays with the bullying that's going on, especially, prior to COVID-19, there was a lot of bullying going on in schools via social media and things like that. So you're thinking like, okay, our youth, they're very much impacted by the bullying, causing a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, a lot of isolation. So you have that there as well. Then you also look at maybe in the, I don't know, I want to say like 25, 35 range, they're also going through different things at that time. So it's understanding that each age group may have something that they are struggling with. It depends on what's going on within that age group.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Final question.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad. Final question, before we get you out of here, and we'll let you give your handle and everything again so people can contact you. Is there not the best way for me to put it? I'm sorry, I talk very like straightforward. Like,
that's fine.
There's corporate of me, and then there's the ghetto of me, and then there's I'm just
somewhere in between.
Yeah. Is there nothing that we could fight for where we could set a mandate? If there's a unified movement, we could set a mandate that like I see a guidance counselor. To me, guidance counselor not doing much. It's not really, they're not really guiding me, nothing. But you're a counselor for this mental health issue. There's others like you. There's your colleagues. Is there not something that we could fight through or get to be known, to popularize, where you travel from school to school and you meet with certain kids? Because maybe there's certain kids that are acting up, that are repetitively into the principal's office. Maybe they're the ones that need to see you, need to talk to you. And that's on a record of a principal. Like, is there not a program in place? Can we not get a grant, get a program? Is there something that can't be done where we could get you into schools at this young age, so they know that it's okay to be how they want to feel?
Well, first of all, that's a great idea, and I think that's something we can probably work on through Keep Six. But you know what? Some schools, like you said, have guidance counselors. I know there are some like settlement counselors that work in different schools. I know that there are some school psychologists, school counselors that go around. So it all depends on what the school, I guess the school board, they're really looking for. However, yes, we can create a program. We can go and create a program and get grants. That could be something that we could definitely do. And the thing is with the school system is a lot of school systems look at the behavior of the child and punishing the behavior of the child. But you have to also understand that behavior is usually stemming from a need that the child has, an unfulfilled need that that child may have. It may be that they're being neglected at home, or something else is going on, or maybe the teacher is singling them out for some reason, right? So it's about understanding that let's not only focus on the behavior, but let's go deeper and try to understand why that behavior is showing itself. Right? Because if we just look at the behavior and we want to correct behavior, we're not going to do anything. We're just skimming the surface. Let's go deeper and we understand what's been going on more at the foundation that has led to this behavior. Right? Behavior is a byproduct of something. We need to understand of what.
Okay. Tell them your handle again, how they contact you.
Right, so I am Natasha Pennycooke. I am a registered psychotherapist. My handle is natashapennycooke.therapy here on Instagram, and also Natasha Pennycooke Therapy on Facebook. And you can contact me for psychotherapy, for speaking engagements, for lives, for workshops. And I'm also a part of Keep Six.
Thank you. Thank you very much for taking the time.
Thank you, Wiz.
I appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
You know, keep helping. God bless you. Stay home. Stay safe.
Yes, you as well. You as well. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.